So what I wanted to start talking about was Hillary Clinton and Debbie Wasserman Schultz. Now, the reason I bring both of these up is because they come together with a lot of points that I want to make. So Debbie Wasserman Schultz, the notorious ex-head of the DNC, after stepping down in disgrace leading up to the Democratic National Convention, she has shifted her focus back to Florida District 23, where she is facing a pretty tough primary opponent, endorsed by Bernie Sanders, Tim Canova. That primary will take place on August 31st. Now, what I find absolutely fascinating, almost dumbfounding, is the fact that after she stepped down, the entire Democratic establishment lined up behind her, championing her as someone who should be reelected because she has these great leadership skills and she has done so much. But if you look at her record, she's voted Republican quite a few times. In fact, she has deep ties to the alcohol industry, lobbying against marijuana. She has deep ties to Wall Street, of course, right? Hillary Clinton. And Tim Canova, a truly progressive candidate, is fighting in that district because it is a largely establishment Democrat district to win that primary because he really wants to do good for this country. Now, when the Democratic establishment lines up behind someone who, in the DNC leaks, the email leaks, it is shown to be corrupt, is shown to have put her thumb on the scales as the chair of the Democratic National Committee. When they line up behind someone like that, it makes you think twice. Just in the last couple weeks, you've had Biden, Obama, Hillary Clinton, Congressman Patrick Murphy, even Nancy Pelosi come and endorse as well as support Debbie Wasserman Schultz. This, to me, seems like the establishment Democrats are okay leaving progressives behind. Perhaps the most glaring violation of progressive trust occurs with Debbie Wasserman Schultz. In the DNC leaks, Debbie and her team were literally shown to have created media narratives against Senator Sanders, communicated as if Hillary was their nominee all along, and pushed their donors to donate because they knew that Sanders would drop out soon. They acted as essentially a super PAC for Hillary Clinton before the primaries were even over. Now, as Debbie continued to salivate at a Clinton presidency, Bernie and his supporters continued to be hammered by the media at every chance they could potentially get. The truth is, he didn't stand a chance because the DNC had rigged the elections against him. But then, this former Hillary co-chair, who stepped down in disgrace leading up to the DNC, having corrupted the primaries of her own party, lost almost no breath before being applauded and praised by the entire Democratic establishment. And of course, the biggest of them all, Hillary Clinton has endorsed her. Not only has she endorsed her, but the day that she stepped down from the DNC, Hillary Clinton lauded her multiple accomplishments and essentially rehired her to the Clinton campaign. Of course, as we know, she was already doing that job, so logistically it makes sense. But if you're trying to win this election and you're Hillary Clinton, how do you think that that's going to help win any progressive votes? When you endorse, embrace, and hire the same woman who manipulated the primaries against our progressive candidate that we had hope in, that we had faith in, for Hillary's own advancement. That, to me, is unthinkable. But it's not surprising. And it's not surprising because this is what you see out of a centrist, corporatist candidate. When she declares herself as a progressive and we don't believe it, there's reason. So let's continue with Debbie Wasserman Schultz on a little bit better news. Her opponent, Tim Canova, has been pressuring her to debate for months now. Asking her on camera, asking her on social media, getting supporters to ask her, petitioning her, everything in the book. And she has refused. Even on national media interviews, she has refused to debate Tim Canova. Finally, something came around and she said yes. It wasn't that easy, though. At first, she confirmed that she would do a 15-minute interview. Basically enough time for introductions and maybe a question each. But after another social media battle and a quick attack on her for only doing a 15-minute interview, she's finally agreed to do an hour-long interview this morning at 8:30 a.m. and the link is below. So I think Tim Canova will be live streaming it. Please don't miss it. It'll be quite interesting to see what Tim Canova brings up against Debbie and how Debbie decides to defend herself against the multiple missteps that she has made, not only in serving in the House, but through her power as the chair of the DNC.